this is Adam here at A Strings, and we've got the absolute pleasure of being joined in the video room by Mr. Jared James Nichols.
A Strings, YouTube, I am glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man.
Cheers, man.
So, just so you know, we're right at the end of our night here at A Strings. It's gone 9 at night, but we thought we'd dive in the video room and talk about the amp. I know that you're very, very proud of this thing.
Super proud, man.
Let's go right from the beginning of where this Blackstar relationship started and how they got in touch and things like that.
So I've been playing Blackstars for probably 8 years. I moved to LA when I was 21, and the first rehearsal space I went to, Swing House Studios, they had Blackstars. They were like, I think they were the first place, like one of the first in America to have them. I remember when I started my trio, the first amp I plugged into, a Blackstar. The first tour I did, like a real tour, a Blackstar. Jammed with everyone from Leonard Skinner and played all these massive festivals through a Blackstar. So my relationship with them goes back, I've played like every single model, like all the Series 1, the Artisans, the Artist, HT stuff. And actually like almost a year ago now, I got approached about the potential signature model. And I was blown away, man. I couldn't believe it that, as a guitarist, sometimes you don't dream that far. Like a signature amp, I just thought that was crazy. It was something I never dreamed about. And we had an idea in mind, vertical 212, like a mini stack. I fell in love right away. I was like, yes, yes, yes. And it was so cool because we started talking about it. I was on tour in the UK that would have been September. And I came to Wales, man. I played the Tivoli. Do you know this room? The Tivoli. I can't remember exactly where it is, but somewhere in Wales. It's a super old theater. And I remember it was a few days before I went to HQ in Northampton, and we literally built the amp from the ground up. I walked into a room, a huge whiteboard, and they're like, okay, what do you want? And what you see is what you get. And I'm super proud of the way it came out, man. I love it.
So the really interesting thing, I think, is that you didn't go in having played a Marshall, played a Fender, played a Supro, played all this.
No.
So really, you were cherry picking the best bits from all the Blackstars.
That's what I was doing. Yeah, I was cherry picking the things that I loved that were pure Blackstar. And what I thought was really cool about Blackstar is, a lot of guys always want to compare to different amps, but Blackstar, they're already on a trip of their own. And I was taking the things that I loved about the Blackstar, and I was able to fit it in this 20 watt. And that being said, it was like, okay, if we're going to do this, man, I want it to be the best I can possibly get it. I want to be able to stand behind it and just really love it and use it. Because everything I have, from my guitar, this signature Epiphone, the new one, to this signature Blackstar, I want to use it. I want to be proud of it. And I was able to cherry pick everything about it. So now I always laugh and I joke with my buddies, like, if I don't sound good, it's not the gear, man. It's just me. Because I picked it and I voiced it to sound the best it possibly could.
Well, you took me by surprise. What you do to me, way that you're walking, the way you're talking, just won't let me be. Tell me, sugar, you love me. If you got the time, baby, I got the dime. Let's go get a room upstairs. And you know this ain't right. So, girl, please stay the night now. And please, you got me on my knees. I'm begging, please. If now or never, and please, you got me on my knees.
we've had your amps in for a couple of days in the shop prior to getting ready for the clinic.
Yeah.
I think I've been the only one that's sort of plugged in and played sort of, out in the video room and then out in the sort of the back because we wanted to keep them. They weren't for sale until tonight.
Right.
Because we knew that one would go and then we'd be stuck with -1 for the show.
For sure.
So I've plugged it in and I've plugged in single P90 guitars. Obviously, that was the first thing. We've plugged in humbucker guitars. We've plugged in single coils. And really, it's one of those amps where you can just plug in and EQ wise, we haven't even messed around. We haven't had to sit there. It's just we plugged in and gone, yes.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of it is it's such a subtle amp with where what I love about amps is when they react to your guitar, they react to your playing.
Yeah.
They're very, very zoned in. Like, let's put it this way. You plug in Old Glory, it sounds like Old Glory. You plug in a certain guitar, you're getting, I think, like the best parts of that guitar amplified through here. It's not necessarily changing the qualities of guitars. It's not as if it's an amp that you plug in and every single guitar sounds the same.
No, exactly.
You plug in whatever you plug in, it's going to sound characteristically like that. And like you said, with the EQs, I voiced it so I could personally really run everything at noon.
Right.
Yeah. and then adjust for the room, adjust maybe for the guitar, adjust for the PA, whatever it need be. And it's just such an easy amp to use. And I kid you not, I have not found, since I've been playing them, I've been on the road since January. I haven't found a bad tone in it where I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I haven't plugged it in and been like, I can't get my sound.
No.
And for instance, I'll hear guys like shredding through it. And I'm like, oh my God, like, they're properly getting heavy, you know. I heard chicken pickers, everything down to jazz guys, and there is so many tones in this little box, man. I'm so proud of it, and I'm blown away.
So what have we got then? So we've got a clean channel and our blues power channel.
Yep.
And two voices for each channel.
2 channels, a voice for each, or 2 voices for each channel.
Cool.
Exactly.
Do you have a preference for your live stuff?
Well,
or
it's
do you
funny.
use everything?
I tend to use the second voice of the clean channel. I call it like the free channel.
Yeah.
It sounds so punchy. It's like the best, dirtiest clean channel you've ever heard.
Yeah.
I like to live there. It's got all the articulation that I love. But then I said to those guys, I was like, listen, I want the blues power channel because I play guitar. I'm not plugged into any pedals.
No.
I say, I just want a channel that I can plug into and I can have my sound and I can use my volume, roll down, get my cleans. It's like a throttle. And that blues power channel has so much bite and so much bark, but when you roll it back, you get all that clean shimmer. And that's really where I like to live too. So, it's funny. Usually I don't even get to like voice 4 on the overdrive, the second voice on the overdrive, because simply I already have what I need. But if someone wants to play super heavy, you go there. Or if you want to play super clean, you just use that clean channel.
So that second voice on your blues power channel, that is kind of that over the edge.
Oh man, that's the
saturation.
freak out. Yeah.
Cool.
That to me is like, it's almost like it's like a gnarly overdrive fuzz. It just gets really wild. And it's great when I, like, at the end of the show, I'll click that on, man. And it's like, once that channel gets on, it's like a chainsaw. It's crazy.
Yeah. Now, aesthetically, obviously, British Racing Green.
Yep.
But there's a few cool, interesting choices as well. Things like the slanted head.
Yes.
Brilliant for, seeing your dials when you're playing live.
Yeah, it's
really
just a little thing where it's just a little extra up so you can just see it a little better.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
And then we've got mixed speakers in the cab.
Yeah. 2 different Celestians. What I love about it is when we were building the amp and when I was actually at HQ, we were real time taking speakers in and out of the cabinet.
Nice.
And we were saying, okay, so let me think here. We'll do 2 V types. We tried that, Yeah, that's good. What if we try this? What if we try this? It got to the point, man, where we plugged a GT1275 in the top, which characteristically, they were like, Jared, you like this? It's like almost like an early Eddie Van Halen kind of really mid-range bump speaker.
Okay.
We did that with a V-type. Everyone in the room went, okay, there it is. It makes the 212 open up so much. There's so much more expression and power with the varied speakers. I don't know what it is, man, because I'm not technically crazy, but I will tell you what, ever since that day, I could tell my tone instantly got better for me.
Yeah.
When I really mismatched the speakers. The that GT 1275 mixed with the V-Type, there's something about that just was so awesome to me. It's like I want to have a wall of those. Like literally, it's that good. Another thing that's cool about the cabinet is you can open the back up. I don't know if you noticed
so you
that.
got two options. You got the open back and close back.
Yeah, so like depending on where you're at, what kind of gig, if you're stuck against a wall, you know, if you just got a little bit of space. Otherwise, I love to play like in old theaters, open up the back.
Yeah.
And it really does make it just bigger and warmer. And you know, it's a pretty magical little cab. It's got a lot of like, you know, you look at it, you're like, oh, that's cool. But then when you really dive in, you're like, okay, we have mismatched speakers. You got that open or close back option. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, and I really think, you know, you think of every sort of combo, every famous big combo that there's been, everything's matched.
Yeah,
and it's,
exactly.
You know, it makes me want to sort of play around.
I think it's cool too, and you know, for what it's worth, man, even just having, you know, that cabinet and A being it, you guys, if anyone has the chance to do that, try it and see, you know, plug anything into that cabinet, and I guarantee you that thing's gonna smoke.
And have you tried this in other cabinets, just
course.
touring and things?
Yeah,
and it's
of
just
course.
not quite.
No, it's great. The thing about it is this head is so small that like my friends were playing in Chicago, Tesla, and they were playing 2 nights at the House of Blues, and they called me, hey man, fly out, jam with us. I just took the head.
Yeah.
It was my carry-on. You know, I put it in the overhead. I love it. Plugged it into a 412. Beautiful.
And all it is just tweaking.
Just a little bit of tweak.
Yeah. Cool.
And that's what's great. It's got that ISF too. You know, the that Blackstar thing where you can go from that British to American, and you know, it's just like a little bit of tweaking, and that's what's great. You have all the tools right here.
Yeah.
You know, you really don't need to go search for anything else. That's what I think's great about it. It's got that that output on the back. So if you want to just plug this straight into the PA as well,
Yeah.
you know, that's really handy. Man, I love it. It's got the 2-watt thing, so when I'm at home, I can click that on and I can still get a tone.
And actually, when we were sound checking earlier today, we were trying everything for levels, and we just thought, right, what does this 2-watt sound like just in terms of the room? 2-watt cranked versus sort of 20-watt a bit dialed back. And there was, you know, the 2 watts is cooking. It's really
it pushes the tubes. That's the great thing. If you guys haven't tried like a 20-watt, like this amp, when you're going to try it, you're going to know like it's a small wattage amp that you can push, and it's a beautiful thing when you really get those tubes cooking, because they start singing and you get these overtones, and then you're pushing it through that cabinet, man. It gets magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great.
So as part of the clinic as well, you gave some members of the audience a chance to jump up and jam.
Oh, yeah.
And the really cool thing was they got to play through the other amp that was on stage, which is, you know, exactly the same. And, you know, we tried a couple of different guitars through it. Everything sounded good.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone's playing styles, even there were people who played, who you could tell lent more towards a sort of cleaner, sort of funkier style. But it still sounded good. It still suited the tone regardless. There was actually the two polar opposites, I guess, was the one sort of shreddy blues guy, and then the really clean kind of, Yeah,
I think that that's the beauty of it is it goes beyond just the single genre. Like, you know, I might some people might see me and be like, oh, he's a blues dude, you know, he's got a Les Paul and this blah blah blah, and it's like, yes, but for this particular gear, you know, I had my ear very close to what was happening, and it's exactly that. You know, I think that take my name off it, it's still, to me, it's built for so many different genres and so many different styles, and it is cool because, you know, we like tonight we heard like 6 different guys come up and play, and we really weren't changing the settings that
No,
much.
we didn't change the EQ really at all.
So it was just really cool to see. We had a guy come up on that beautiful 58.
Oh yeah.
You know,
my brother.
custom, your brother, and then we had the single the P90 guy come up. You know, so it was just cool to see that this amp, it performs on so many different levels. It's great, man.
Yeah.
Take it, brother. Keep going. Give him a hand, everybody. So good. So good. Awesome.
We've got 2 amps, one of which has already sold. Sold tonight to one of the guys in the audience.
Yep.
But this one, you've literally put your name on the amp.
Yep.
We've got...
I think this is the only one in Wales, right?
Well, this is now. Is the only one available in Wales
Yeah.
now, yeah. So you signed the 2, so there's the only 2 in Wales, one of which is sold. This is our only other one.
Here it is.
They're all serial, so you're going to know that this would be it.
Yep.
We're not just going to get a load more and sign a bunch more. So really, this one is available at A-Strings online, through the store and everything else. But for fans of yours, and it doesn't even matter, like for me as a player, it doesn't matter. It's plugged in, and it's like, yep, straight away.
Yeah,
straight away, no problem at all.
I think that anyone that's even remotely interested, regardless of me, whatever, you should come try it, because I think you'd plug it in and you'd say, that's a good amp.
Yeah,
that's a good amp.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That is the real testament to the guys at Blackstar as well. And I think that they've always done great stuff. I remember when they first came out and it was the Artisans.
Oh yeah.
And but recently, like the Studio 10 series, any of those 3, the new HT20, yours, everything they're putting out now is just...
It's fire, man. They're on a
yeah.
roll. You know what I think it is too is I think we're going on 11 years that Blackstar's been around. They're getting in the groove. They're really figuring it out. And I feel like this couldn't have come at a more perfect time. It's so well built, and I've been using it on the road. I haven't even been home since January. I've been using it every single day on the road.
Crazy. Traveling
with a head, throwing it around, tossing it around.
Yeah.
Every single day it performs. Every single day. You know, so it's a testament to the build quality. It's a testament to the sound and what those guys at Blackstar are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Now you're saying you haven't been home since January.
Yeah.
You are flying tomorrow morning to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in Wales now in the UK. You're flying tomorrow to Spain.
Yep.
And then straight back over for some more clinics on the run.
Yes.
And you're not going home for, it sounds like a long time.
I'll be back home in August. Yeah. So it's great, man. Sometimes there's a saying that I always say, you got to make hay while the sun's shining, right?
Oh, yeah.
So for me as a player, it's one of those feelings where, I'm not sitting on the bench, man. We're out doing it.
Yeah.
We're really bringing it to the people. And I think that it's amazing because I get to come to places like A-Strings and we riff, we meet everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love this stuff no matter what. If I was back home, I'd be going to music shops. But now the fact that I get to visit them, do a clinic, hang out, it's great, man.
Thank you so much. And to the guys at Blackstar as well, thank you so much for taking the time to come over to Wales and to be with us.
Until next time, man.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
You're a star. Thank
Cheers,
you very
brother.
much, man.
Thanks, dude.
So I've been Adam for A-Strings. This has been Mr. Jared James Nichols. And we'll see you in the next video very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.